Well, we're taking you live now to Grenoble Hospital in France, where doctors are giving an update on the condition of Michael Schumacher. The retired seven-times Formula One world champion has been in a critical condition with head injuries after an off-piste skiing accident yesterday in the French Alps resort of Grenoble. Doctors just beginning this news conference. The 44-year-old German has been operated on for the second time during the night, according to German media reports. They're not as yet confirmed, but maybe the doctors will give us some more details now. Mr. Schumacher was taken to the hospital centre in Grenoble yesterday. When he arrived, he had a head trauma, a serious head trauma with a coma. And this required a surgical intervention. He's been in a critical condition ever since. I'll let the doctors talk to you about his condition. Mr. Schumacher had a serious head trauma yesterday when he was admitted. His neurological state deteriorated very rapidly. He was transported by helicopter to Grenoble Hospital. When he arrived, we realized that he was in a serious condition. He was in a coma. The cerebral scan that was done then showed that he had several bruises inside his skull. So we operated on him in order to reduce the internal pressure on the brain. But we saw, unfortunately, that there were other hemorrhages in his brain. I let Professor Payen tell you more about it.
Well,
just to add to what my colleague has just been saying, I would say that this accident happened at high speed. He was treated very rapidly. He was operated as soon as he arrived after a cerebral scan, and his state has been critical in terms of
tous les traitements qui sont à l'heure actuelle recommandés sont mis en œuvre.
Reanimation, and all the treatments that have been recommended have been put into practice. So far, we can't say anything about what's going to happen next.
Voilà, mesdames et messieurs, ce que nous souhaitions vous dire pour le moment.
So this is all that can be said at the moment. So we really don't know a lot more. We're just wondering if the doctors are going to take any questions. Doctors being asked whether Michael Schumacher is in an artificial coma. Yes, he's having treatments that are aiming to limit the reaction to the cerebral bruising.
Et donc notre objectif, c'est de limiter au maximum cette montée, cette élévation de pression intracrânienne.
That will reduce the intracranial pressure. We want to reduce this pressure.
Sa situation est critique, est jugée critique, oui.
His situation is considered critical. A reporter's asking, yes, that's confirmed. Was he only operated on once? Yes, only once. So that contradicts those German media reports.
On ne parle pas de
Doctors being asked whether the surgery went without any complications, and the doctor's saying he doesn't want to talk about the consequences of that at the moment. We're just talking about the treatment. We're working from 1 hour to the next. Will he have permanent injuries? The doctors are being asked, and the doctors saying they really can't speculate on the situation. We're just sticking to what we saw on the scan.
Il est dans une situation critique.
He is in a critical condition.
Qui est engagé dans notre
We can talk about
médical français, c'est-à-dire que il est en réanimation, sa condition est jugée très sérieuse.
It's a very serious situation.
Je peux pas me prononcer là-dessus. Notre équipe avec les
Can't say any more at the moment. Our team
travaille en permanence.
The whole team of neurosurgeons is working 24 hours a day.
Émettre quoi que ce soit en termes de.
It's too early to give a forecast at this stage.
Dès qu'on jugera utile.
We'll give you news as soon as we think that it's useful to do so.
On pense que vu la violence du.
We think that given the violent impact, his helmet did partially protect him, of course. Somebody who wasn't wearing a helmet would have certainly died.
Oui, c'est possible. C'est possible.
Et sa famille peut lui voir quelquefois comment ça se marche, c'est 10 minutes ou il peut rester avec lui en permanence, plus ou moins.
Doctors are being asked about Michael Schumacher's family, and the doctors say we are in talks, we're in touch with the family, they're here right now from what we can see. There's no new surgery being planned.
Lésions antérieures. Nous, on n'a pas tenu compte de quoi que ce soit à ce niveau-là et la condition clinique.
Still, the doctors saying they can't really give more details about the actual extent of the brain injury.
Ce type de cas, c'est un accident qui arrive souvent en ski ou...
Is it a common accident, they're asked? Unfortunately, yes, it is.
Beaucoup communiqué sur le port de casque à ski parce que
We've
beaucoup de traumatismes crâniens,
said a lot about the fact that you really must wear a helmet while you're skiing in order to protect the head area and the spine area. And we're used to working on such cases with the neurosurgeons. Unfortunately, it is quite frequent, quite common.
Vraisemblablement, de toute évidence, il n'a pas été suffisant, mais comme le rappelait mon collègue professeur Pavon,
obviously
la cinétique du choc devait
helmet was not enough to protect him, but the speed of the impact, it must have been really high.
Non, dans la mesure où de sa prise en charge à Méribel jusqu'à Moutier, à Moutier, il a été effectivement pris en charge sur un...
From the time that he was first looked after at Meribel, the resort where the accident happened, to the time that he was taken to the first hospital, Moutier, and then to the hospital in Grenoble.
Avec l'ensemble des centres dans notre région, puisque nous avons un
procedure was
qui fonctionne très bien.
Very well followed. We
de procédure et d'arrêt
have a very organized procedure.
N'a pas joué un rôle majeur dans l'évolution ultérieure.
With only very short stops taking a few minutes, and that didn't have an impact on the evolution of his condition. Do you think the sponsors are going to arrive? The doctors are asked. Well, right now we have no information on this topic. Just a few questions now for Professor Gérard Saillant. Now, this is a very famous neurosurgeon who's also a friend of Michael Schumacher's, and he arrived at the hospital yesterday under police escort from Paris. Very honestly, I have to tell you that I came here not as a doctor but as a friend. So I won't answer any technical questions. My colleagues have already answered those very well. As a friend, I want to say that I'm here to help Schumacher. I want to thank the nurses and the paramedics. As a friend and as someone who's close to the family. What state are you in now? The professor's being asked. I'm worried, so is his wife, so are his children. We're all worried by his condition. The doctors don't want to say any more because they can't tell you any more. They're working hour after hour, and that's the only way they can make decisions.
Ce genre d'accident chez quelqu'un qui a 70 ans, eh bien, il le supporte moins bien que chez quelqu'un qui a 45 ans. Et
this type of accident
moins bien que un sportif
is more dramatic for a 70-year-old. It's better for a sportsman, but we still don't know if that's going to be enough.
Alors, il est en hypothermie qui est thérapeutique, c'est-à-dire qu'on le contrôle sa température corporelle pour la maintenir entre 34 et 35 degrés selon les recommandations dans ce type de
hypothermia. We're maintaining his temperature.
Il est sous anesthésie.
Doctor saying that Schumacher cannot breathe by himself at the moment. He's anesthetized in order to reduce any stimulation linked
consommer davantage d'oxygène dans son cerveau.
Care that could make him consume more oxygen in his brain. Our aim is to reduce any external stimuli and to ensure a good oxygenization of his brain. I think you can understand that with respect for the family, I won't go into details. I told you they are serious injuries, but I won't go into any details.
Non, on pense que
we can't evaluate the speed of the accident at the moment, but from what we've been able to observe, despite wearing a helmet, he arrived with serious injuries. So the shock, the impact must have happened at high speed.
Voilà, ce qui a été constaté initialement, c'est un impact sur le côté droit, mais voilà, c'est un petit peu...
What was seen at first was an impact on the right-hand side.
Alors, c'est un point important.
Was he conscious? Doctors are asked. That's an important point. He was agitated, he wasn't able to answer questions. He was moving, but he wouldn't answer questions that a normal person would have been able to answer.
C'est difficile comme ça de vous répondre.
It's difficult to
heure par heure.
Say more. We're working hour after hour. We're trying to gain time. We're trying to save time. But we know what treatments to put into place, or what we expect from these treatments. But right now, I can't tell you any more. And I can't tell you what the forecast is.
Non, on a tenu aujourd'hui à vous
We wanted to let you know today about his current condition, but we all agree on the fact that we won't go beyond this type of information. We won't go any further